Right there. Look at how much viewership you had in March. 1 year later, look at your viewership. 1 year into the game. A brand new game you created. Second to Fortnite, but just barely. Your watch time hasn't changed at all. That's credible. Audience retention. Gamer retention. Incredible. You had an incredible game. Warzone could have been the best battle royale. I got a list of things to talk about Modern Warfare 2, the beta at least, and what I saw from Warzone 2, the gameplays from COD Next. One thing I gotta say is the tournament spectate that needs to be fixed. It needs to be like some sort of action indicator so that we can go one fight to the next fight, highlight all the fights. Everyone's a big name player. Like when there's action, like we gotta immediately figure out a way to go to that fight. We also should have like a bird's eye view of the entirety of the map and see where all those tracer rounds are going in a free view mode, just to see where all the components are from both teams. We also, number two, need to smooth out the ledge hop. It's not smooth. I don't know if it's just me, but it's really hard to go through windows. Like I'm going left of the window, right of the window. I'm not going through the windows. Like a margin of error sort of a thing. And allow for ADS when sliding and dolphin diving. If you don't want slide canceling to be abused, have a little white bar for a cooldown for slide canceling, like 2-3 second cooldown, right below the operator. Make it the same speed or faster than the current. This, in my opinion, would lower the usage of slide canceling. Just keep the mechanics the same. Just have like a cooldown every time you slide that resets the cooldown. All movement really just like 20% faster from the Modern Warfare 2, or like 10% faster than current Warzone. Just because it just feels better when you're moving fast. With the stims and the speed boost we got in Warzone, that was honestly the most fun I had, was when I could just move around and have fun. Just I feel like light and I don't feel bulky in the game. There needs to be reload canceling. That adds a very slight skill gap, but that needs to be a function. Mags in the gun should be able to cancel the rest of the animation. That's just how the game has always functioned and how it should function, and that's honestly one of the things I didn't like about the Vanguard guns, because I kept having to restart my reload animation and it was ridiculous compared to Modern Warfare guns. It's just not fun to end up having to go into the process of reloading and then canceling it and then not have what you need when you need it. It adds a very minor skill gap and it smooths out the flow of the game to make plays. Microsoft, you bought out Activision, one scuff out of business. Add paddles as standard in your controllers. Your sales dropped drastically since 2014, according to this chart. This is Xbox 360 sales and Xbox One game console unit sales worldwide from 2005 to 2021. Units in sales in millions. Your sales in total has been dropping since 2014 drastic. This is terrible. You got resources, make your controller better, but you will get honestly just better games. They don't have to use the paddles, and this is just for all games that will come out. As games get more complicated, you're gonna need more buttons. You just are. When more people are adding more content into their games, you're gonna need more buttons to compensate. Just like Warzone, you're adding slide and dolphin diving. You need to compensate by giving controllers more buttons as a standard. Clearly there's a market for paddles, for extra buttons on the controllers. Why haven't you, as a company that's like built the controller, why do other third-party companies have to modify it so that other people can actually play and have fun in games? See, that doesn't make any sense. Do you need to be able to ADS when dolphin diving? I play paintball. This is a dolphin dive right here. He gets the point there and sliding. Watch this. Look at that slide. Slide basically cancel, aim, ADS. Slide canceling needs to be a mechanic. You shouldn't regress your progression. There should be more movement mechanics. As you grow as a company, as the games get more developed, you need to add more, not take away from. That's just how it should be. What innovation have you added to Modern Warfare 2? Swimming is not an innovation at all. Like one of the first battle royales, PUBG, that was an implementation from the very beginning. Like what did you innovate at all in this game? AAA game company. Nothing. PUBG has currently like more mechanics than Warzone 2, Modern Warfare 2, because sliding and dolphin diving are essentially useless. They're just there as a cosmetic. Like sliding needs to be a function. Look how smooth this transitions is in paintball. I know real guns, real fighting is in paintball, but Call of Duty, the team deathmatch style, is essentially the virtual version of paintball in essence, and that's how Call of Duty been played since like COD 4. Like honestly, aside like all the people complaining about the noise, the footsteps, the TTK, all that could be reversed if people have a way to maneuver in an engagement or out of the engagement, and you can't do that currently. That's why people are complaining about your TDK, is because if they fight they can't disengage at all, and it's just whoever shot first. That's why people are complaining about TTK. That's why people are complaining about footsteps, because the only way to engage someone in a corner is to basically one jump into the fight. You can't slide, you can't dolphin dive. There's no engagement. It's all just running and jumping. That's it. One button really. It's not even like running. I wouldn't even consider a button. That's like a default. That's why people are complaining about your audio. And you work so hard to make your audio better, and then people are complaining about it because you took out the one mechanic that allowed them to take advantage or to disengage. And you don't want people camping, which is why you took out the foliage. The showcase of Farm 18 is like you didn't want to add too much foliage so that people wouldn't camp. But if you take out all the engagement, all the movement from the game, that's all the game is gonna amount to. Also, like as a spectator, as people want to watch high skilled players, high skilled maneuvers, you're acting like the WNBA. It's not fun to watch the WNBA. That's why they don't make money. They don't get rev. That's right. Your game's not gonna get any revenue. That's why Call of Duty has been in a slump forever. And I'm not joking about that. So if you go to June 2019, before whatever beta for Warzone came out, this is, if you scroll down, you know, most watched games on Twitch, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was number 19. No one's watching Call of Duty. Your game is in a slump, and that's like the viewership thing. I haven't had like a top 10 Call of Duty game since 2017, and that barely made top 10. Implemented a spike in SBMM for Advanced Warfare. Then right after Black Ops, you haven't really hit top 10 at all in any of your games except for Warzone. This barely made it. Warzone outbeat all of these games. Probably biggest revenue game you've ever had ever. It's like your game won't be successful. You won't make the money you want to make if people doesn't enjoy watching your game. That's why men's basketball is so much more popular. You're making your game less fun to watch on all standards. There needs to be like some sort of a theater mode. Like this is back in 2012 Modern Warfare 3. This is Modern Warfare 3. If we can get these sort of angles with modern graphics, modern movement, imagine all the cool montages the community can make by being creative, and will get people excited to play the game. Not only that, you need a theater mode to figure out the bugs. We wouldn't know what happened to this kill streak here. How did it fly like that? If we didn't have a theater mode, we would not know. Obviously, that's a bug. So there needs to be a theater mode to make the game more entertaining to watch. That's why Apex is better. That's why more people watch Apex. That's why Apex had their world championship of $2 million compared to Warzone with 600,000. There's more money going into Apex because it's more fun to watch. The game is more fun to play. I like Warzone. Like, that's my game. So why are you making it less fun for everyone except the casuals, the sheep that will buy a remake of the same game every single year? Well, I don't know. The graphics are good. What made Call of Duty as popular as it was were the sweaty people, the montages, the trick shots, getting 100 kills in a match in domination. That's why Call of Duty blew up. The campaign was, ballsy. It got reactions. It was controversial. The sweatiest people making content, showing amazing gameplay, is why your game got so popular. You need content creators to create amazing content. Gotta make the game fun. Gotta make the game enjoyable to watch. This is what was entertaining. These trick shots, the high skill cap, the things people couldn't really do, normal casuals can't do, too scared to try. This is what made Call of Duty popular. You gotta make it as fun to watch as possible. We just can't. These montages, they died out. They're not popular anymore. These trick shots and stuff, they're outdated content. So you gotta find new ways to make your game enjoyable to watch for an audience of people that will get people to want to play the game. Graphics are good. That's what I'm saying. If you had like a theater mode where we can like have a free view camera, the community could make great videos that people would want to watch. Also, hit marker sounds, kill sounds, font color, they need to sound better. It's not satisfying. When I played Modern Warfare 2, it was not satisfying to get kills or hit markers. Every time I kill someone, I need like a small amount of dopamine. I need ASMR in my ears. You got shit UI, bro. I don't care about this shit. This is not good. Aesthetically, it might look pleasing to you. Functionally, it's annoying. This might aesthetically look pleasing to you, being able to move in like that, but I should be able to see all the game modes on one page. You have all this space here. You have all this space here. You can have this little section for your animation, but no one really cares about this. You need better operators. Some of them look cool, some of them don't, but they're not iconic. No one's gonna remember these operators. Same thing for Warzone. The operators, they don't look good. Like 80% of your UI for friends, this is junk. Why can I only see 3 people and not be able to filter it who's online? Because they're all offline. Why am I getting last met, like recently played players on my friends list here? That should be reason. Grid view. I don't want to see these banners. I just need a small list, font, name. This is all I need right here. Online, offline, name. That's all I really need to see on my friends list. And why is it so hard to scroll? Look at this. Look at my scroll wheel. What? Look at that scroll wheel, bro. This is not good. And I just deleted all my customizations on that gun. I just did that because your UI is so bad. Why can't I customize the reticles? Where are the reticles? I don't like your reticles sometimes on some of these guns. I want to be able to have the ability to customize the reticles. Have some really cool reticles, just be creative with it. Let me customize it. Progression, the progression tree, it needs to be smaller. Cut this in half, cut this in half. It needs to be concise and to the point. This is not concise at all. It needs to be closer. This honestly should be up here. It should be up here. Bring this over, and I don't need this information, the customization tree. Okay, this is an example of a game I used to play and their tech tree, which I think is a better tech tree than your current version of your tech tree. Receivers, like say this is the M4, the Brits, this AK-74U. You have this line. Everything is small, concise, yet identifiable, if that makes sense. Like all these zips are identifiable, or your receivers, or your gun. And when I click the receiver, you see repost or the specific gun, say the Lockman, whatever, the MP5, I click the gun. Then I can see all these attachments, very identifiable, the name of the attachments. You see how different the tech tree is compared to your current tech tree. Your current tech tree might look nicer, but this sort of tech tree where I can click the specific receiver, see the attachments, see that line, and see everything I need to see on one page. That is the biggest thing with your tech tree, is that I can't see the tree. Why is there more negatives than positives for these attachments? Why are we using these guns, upgrading these guns, leveling these guns to make the gun worse when we put on an attachment? It really shouldn't bring a net negative to the weapon. It should really be minimum a 1-to-1 ratio, if not better, maybe a 1.2 to 1 ratio of net positivity. We shouldn't be working hard to grind these guns to make it a net negative. And I don't know how you're gonna implement new guns into the tech tree as well. With 20 new attachments, I don't know how you're gonna incorporate new guns. Warzone in itself really should be sorta kinda independent multiplayer as a supplement. This perk package, not really good. I don't think anyone asked for you to change this, so I don't know why you're changing the system up. I don't play multiplayer, so it doesn't really pertain to me, but when it gets to Warzone, I want perks to be loots on the ground again. Everything you added to Warzone, the real reason why people don't play Caldera is because you left the game in such a broken state when you released it. Console players could not play the game, and you left it like that for a month. Why would you do that? Why would you release something at a broken state, then go on vacation? And then think all these other mechanics are the reason why your game is not popular. No, you destroyed the game and left it destroyed. You let the hacker run free, you didn't permanently ban them. You gave them a slap on the wrist and they hacked. Why? That should never be the case. They can remake a new account, but make it as annoying. Why are they temporarily banned? Why? I've met hackers, I talk to them because I want to get to know why it's a thing, why people are hacking. And they say they have like multiple accounts. When one gets banned for 2 weeks, they play another one, then rotate these accounts. Why are they only getting banned for 2 weeks or a week or even a day? Sometimes some of them just say, oh, I just call up the support and they unban and I can hack again. Why is that the case? There shouldn't be fall damage. There's no purpose attaining damage when you fall aside from being annoying. Like if you're 10 feet off the ground, you take 10 damage. Why? Just if it's over the threshold, just kill me. 30 feet, 35 feet, 35 meters, just kill me. I don't need the damage indication. Just CO229, if I jump, I'm good. Over that, I'm dead. That's it. Just delete the code. Your developers can't handle the code. Just experience from watching you develop Warzone for 2 years. Your developers, they can't handle the code. So don't make it more complicated for them. Another thing, combine the stims, combine the cash. I get it, cash register. Yes, you can find cash in the cash register. Yes, you can find meds, stims in the first aid kits on the walls. Combine them. Why do I have to click 4 different stacks of cash to pick up cash in the same location? No, it should just be open, click. If you want it to be like that, I don't even agree for it to be like that. That's just too many steps. But open, click. Get all the cash, all of it, in the same location, 1 click. Don't make the game annoying. Call of Duty is not known to make things inconvenient. We shouldn't be playing this game for inconvenience or realism. That's not Call of Duty. That's Battlefield. That's PUBG. That's what those games are. You want to make the game as playable and as watchable as you can. That's how you're gonna succeed. We don't need $3,420. Just 3.5, 2 digits. I'm sorry. Call of Duty players, we're bad at math. We can't do math. We need the total cash. Why did he take that out? I need to know the total amount of cash we have as a group. I don't want to do mental math. I can't do mental math. I'm not that smart. The community base is not that smart. See right here. Why is there 4 stacks of cash? Why can't it just be right here? That's it. That's the only thing. Cut this out. Delete that off the code. I like the item UI. Make it maybe a little bit more transparent here, but it's clean. I'm able to see what I need to see. Please don't add that def boxes. That's just another annoying step. What you can do for the looting system, have that UI, make it lower to the ground, close to the item, not in your face and transparent, but also set a minimum proximity range for the drop dice so that it's evenly spaced out in a circle where the dead body is and they're not on top of each other. Does that make sense? Like your item UI is better than what it is currently, but when the items drop, see how over here that's actually a pretty good spacing, but like over it like dropped so far apart from each other. Make it even, an even spacing, 1, 2, 3, and then this item here, right here, this item here, right here, right here, right here, and have it so they can't overlap. If it has to keep going all the way out here because they have so many items or there's like 4 dead bodies, that's just how it is. Just have a minimum proximity range. It keeps going out until there's an open spot on the ground. It also needs to be highlighted. The item loot, there should be a highlight indication on the loot, like a yellow highlight around the item. It's just visually more appealing, and most people think faster visually than they can read. Transparent, which moves with height. So the UI, see this UI? If I were to go prone, it goes down and down, right? Crouch, prone. If it has to go below ground, that's fine, or ground level, but when I'm prone, the UI currently in Warzone is in my face. It's in my face and I can't see when I'm prone. And that the solution for that is just to make this UI here go to like a 1-to-1 ratio with my current height. Satchels should replace backpacks in functionality. Everyone should like just delete the code, everyone 3 plate slots. But the satchel, when you pick up the satchel, oh wait, you have 5 extra slots. If I want 10 plates, so let's say 5 is the max you can have without a satchel. 5 plates, 210 AR, 2 Semtexes, kill streak, and a muni. You should keep the inventory system the way it is. The backpack is for supplemental things. Like if I want 10 plates, 5 completely empty customizable slots. So if I want 5 plates, I can have 5 total plates for a total of 10. Or I can have like 3 plates and 2 extra grenades. Or, you know, a kill streak can take up 2 slots. Airstrike, I can have an airstrike and a cluster. I can hold an airstrike and a cluster, or a muni and an armor box. That's what the satchel should be if you want a backpack system. I don't want to manage. The looting system for Warzone is iconic to Warzone. Why are you acting like it's PUBG? PUBG is a lesser watts game. Why are we gearing towards PUBG? Why are we not taking aspects from games that are more popular than Warzone? Warzone was one of the best battle royals to ever existed, and then you fucked it up. Apex has a good system. You added the redeploy balloon, took it away. Why? Why are we not taking aspects from these games? Just little minor things, not to completely become these games, but take things that make sense, makes the game flow better, but we're taking assets from a game that's less popular. Why are we gearing towards PUBG when you created a game that was more popular than PUBG, and yet you want to go towards PUBG? And even with Tarkov, that's even worse than PUBG. Why are we taking assets from both these games when we should be taking assets from, you know, these games, copying assets from these games? That makes sense to how Call of Duty views. No one's watching Call of Duty multiplayer. Before Warzone came out, it was 19th, like I showed here. Right there. Look at how much viewership you had in March. 1 year later, look at your viewership. 1 year into the game. A brand new game you created. Second to Fortnite, but just barely. Your watch time hasn't changed at all. That's credible audience retention. Gamer retention. Incredible. You had an incredible game. Warzone could have been the best battle royale game. Essentially, you didn't really need to change the core functions of the game. You needed to really just stabilize the game, just optimize the game, make it take less space, optimize the graphics, optimize the code, so that it will be easier to develop over a 10-year period, and you really shouldn't need to make multiple versions of your game in terms of Warzone, Warzone 2, Warzone 3. Warzone 2 is it. Keep that. You need to grow from that, not to create independent games outside of Warzone 2, Warzone 3, and Warzone. Apex, singular updates, just transitional updates in its duration. Fortnite, same thing. League of Legends, same thing. Dota, same thing. Well, kind of. Dota had Dota and Dota 2, but it's been Dota 2 forever. Warzone 2 is it. This is your game. Build on this game for the duration of its existence, for its entirety, for 10 years, 20 years, how long ever the game is popular, right? You didn't need to change the core functions of the game. You just needed to make it optimized, more stable, so it can handle what it needs to handle. Server size, right? Hard drive wise, data usage. Make it so it's playable on crossplay for Xbox, PS4, PC. That's what was the core issue. That was the core existence of the need for Warzone 2. Also, there should be a minimum download texture for people that don't have the disk space for Warzone 2. There should be another online texture for higher quality textures, but there should be like a very bare minimum requirement for disk space to allow a bigger audience of people to download the game, to play the game in a stable function. And you just actively made it worse. From what I can tell, from what I see with the changes you make, none of you are above 2KD. I don't even think 90% of you, maybe 5%, 10% of you actually enjoy playing the game. You guys don't know what you're doing when it comes to developing this battle royale. There's a disconnect from the players and the developers. There's a real disconnect of what should be happening. And like, if you're not good at the game, don't change the game. Take from players who are decent. I'm not necessarily saying pro players, but like, I don't know, there's some sort of disconnect and you're actively making it worse. Warzone, you had an entire year people were playing Warzone actively. For an entire year, a brand new game, everyone loved it. What happened? I'm telling you, it's the hackers, it's Caldera. I like Caldera and where it stands now, how it plays with the redeploy balloons, with the deployable buy stations, with the new HUD. All those things are great additions, and you took all those out for Warzone 2. Why did you take all of those out? Fix the elevator. Someone died in your Call of Duty next. Largest Warzone map. Why did you decrease the player count to 100? If it's bigger than Verdansk, Caldera is smaller than Verdansk. If it's bigger than Verdansk had 150 people. Why are you not putting 200 people or just 150 people into the lobby? I know servers is junk. Servers can't handle it. But in Verdansk, the servers could handle 150 people. If in Verdansk, the servers could handle 150 people, you need to fix that. You need to put more resources into better servers, because you're downgrading your own servers. You need to kill something. Call of Duty shouldn't be an annual game. You start killing those servers, make it free to play, probably keep one singular game for the rest of the development, and then add to it. Add maps, add guns. Stop making new games, spreading your resources, your servers out between 10 different titles. You had one game, the best game you ever created, and you're killing their servers. It makes no sense. It makes no sense for you to kill the best game you've ever made. So the elevator, this dude died. Fix that. Ping's waypoints should be transparent, streamlined, not thick. Your waypoints in this game are better. They are. But like something like this, make it transparent. Something like this, make it transparent. They can be green. It's streamlined. I like it. I like the waypoints. You know, they're better than what they are now. Make it transparent and you're good. Like, add these back. Add redeploy tokens, add balloons, buy station gulags, gulag tokens. It makes the game more fun with friends, right? Being able to die and come back is more fun than watching your teammates play. till they die, or just leaving the game when there's one guy alive, right? The more opportunities you have to regain, the more fun it will be for randoms and for friends. Even if they're not good, they can come back. And for pros, it's better for the pros because they can get more kills. They will have more funds. They can drop higher kill games. Right? You know, randoms in any game is hard. They always leave. But the better you can allow the regain to happen, more likely these randoms will stay in these games. Honestly, there needs to be a culture where there should be a penalty, really, for leavers. 2 to 3 minutes. If you're leaving a game and your team's still alive, you should be hit with a penalty. Unless you're within your party. 2 to 3 minutes, I think, is a good time limit. It's not too long, not too short, where you can just leave, wait a minute, and go back in. And there also should be an ability to reconnect into the game because your game is unstable. That's what I'm saying. Your developers can't handle the code, can't handle the game, they can't handle the development. So allow there to be a function for us to go back into the game after we crash. There also needs to be a kill feed to know whether there's suspect player. We need to be able to report hackers. Make a streamer mode. There's a hacker in the game to see that on the kill feed. If there's a hacker in the game that killed us, we need to spectate, right? We need to spectate aimbot, right? The raw hacks and such. Why are you making it harder for your community to get rid of these hackers? Because these hackers are another reason why your game is a failure. I really do like Warzone. League of Legends had this reconnect feature for a decade. It's a competitive game, more popular than your current game. Why can we not reconnect when it's been a function in this game for a decade? Why is that not a thing? Your game has always been unstable. Not always. There's this lapse. Like I said, Verdansk handled 150 people. Remake the HUD, like our current one, where we can see the teammates' kill streaks, plates, the amount of times. I have to remind my teammates that they have a UAV or an airstrike to use. Why did you take that out of the HUD right here? Why did you do that? Add that HUD in. That was a great addition. This is why I think they're good additions to Caldera. You just started out so bad. First impressions really do matter. Release a broken game, you killed half your player base. Half your player base died on the release of Caldera. Make the game great on release. We shouldn't have to say that. We shouldn't have to say on release your game should be functional. One of plates, why can't we run while we're healing? It takes the fun. Not really any purpose to this aside from taking the fun out of the game. It's more annoying. Why are you setting a net negative when you should be adding net positives? It's not fun. No one, bots, pros, no one wanted this to change. No one asked for this. Why did you make that a thing? Gulag AI is dumb. Honestly, there shouldn't really be 2v2. If you want 2v2, sure, we can try it out. But really, I don't want a scenario that was designed for pure just 1v1 situation. We have the same things. We have the same guns. We have the same grenades. We have the same time limit. I don't want randomization by adding another person I've never met. I don't want to be put into a Gulag situation 2v1. Battle Royale by essence, it's a lot of RNG. The Gulag is iconic to Warzone. Another iconic thing to Warzone. It's what sets Warzone different from Fortnite and Apex. Yes, 2v2 is still gonna be iconic to Warzone, but I don't know, that's my opinion. But personally, I think it should be 1v1. Heartbeat battery was a good thing. I also don't want to watch people heartbeat the entire game. You shouldn't blow up tires. This is not PUBG. Blowing up tires, driving a car with pop tires is not fun. You could probably add a critical spot. Like if you shoot the engine, it does twice the damage. It's just not fun. Just don't take assets to game and make it less fun. I don't think it will give them that much happiness. I think it's way more fun to be able to shoot them out of a fast moving car. Personal experience, the dopamine you get from being able to snipe someone or to beam someone out of a car is way more fun than blowing out the tires and then killing them. There's too many AIs. I don't think anyone I've ever talked to in the game, and I have like 200 friends in the game, no one has ever been like, yo, I love bots in Factory, in Trump Tower, or to get the specialist and the foresight. I don't think anyone's been like, yo, this is dope. There is no conversation AI in the game being a good thing. So why did you add so much of it? I get it if you want high loot. Factory, there was bots in Factory. High loot kinda makes sense. Kinda annoying, but okay. Yeah, I guess there's a reason why they're there. Foresight, it's worth the effort. It's worth the effort to get the necessary things. But the thing is, there is no reward to killing these AIs where they are when I was watching the Warzone event. Being able to jump fences that should be jumped. Every asset, every fence should be looked at and the problem should be fixed on site. Simple fixes, every little game of life of the game change needs to fix immediately when discovered. I don't care if you're gonna have 10 patches a day. Those things, the quicker you fix these little things, the better the overall experience of the games are. No auto mantle, no auto faulting. I don't know anyone that enjoys auto faulting off a building just to die. If we want to go over the ledge, the fence, we just press W or we just move up on the analog stick. If I want to get up on a fence, just put me on that fence. Put me on that ledge. I don't want to go over these objects. If I wanted to go over, I would press W. I've never ever had a conversation where like, oh, auto faulting has been a great addition to Warzone. Almost every single day is either me or other people complaining about auto faulting over a ledge into a team. That was daily in Verdansk. So why are you adding it here? Just delete the code. We should be able to parachute next to a building. If you are vertical to a building, right next to a building, you cannot parachute. We should be able to parachute. Just push the operator a little to the left or to the right away from the building when the chute opens. Especially if we accidentally auto faulted off a ledge and die because we couldn't open our chute because we were right next to the building and we can't move away from the building. It's just those little mechanical things should be fixed to make the life of the game better experience. Take gas station out, delete the code. No one asks to pump gas in the cars. That's never been a conversation in Warzone. Delete all those codes and your game will be easier to fix, easier to modify. When aiming, the operator should be able to lean out of the car by default. I shouldn't have to press a button to lean out of the car. I don't know, personal opinion, just ADS. Makes sense to me. Better loot, more attachments. You want to be able to make attachments, right? You want us to customize, find loot on the ground with attachments. Make it so there's more of them. More attachments, better loot, right? Your ground loot, especially if you're taking loadouts out, I would just not mess with what makes Warzone Warzone. Loadouts, iconic to Warzone. Don't take them out. If you want to be able to customize guns in-game, have attachments laying around. If I want, 1x zoom vertical and a 3x zoom, I should be able to have a 3x zoom in my satchel, my backpack, in one of those slots. Then I can have an AR and change from red dot to 3x zoom. That makes sense. That makes sense as a backpack functionality. If I find a grenade launcher, a pump shotgun attachment, and I want to switch that out with my Merc foregrip, I can do that. I can put this grenade launcher attachment, change it out with my Merc foregrip if I want to noob tube someone in the window. If you want that to be the function of the game, let that be the function of the game. Buy stations with columns. This is the current Warzone 2 layout, right? You got 3 buttons. That's annoying as fuck. Why? No one asked for that to change. Instead, fuck this UI right here. When you open the buy station, delete this, add a second column, make this over here, put the numbers, these numbers closer over here, add a second column. You want a third column? Do that. I don't want these buttons. The more clicking, I don't want to think. I just want to do more. Why? Don't make less steps. Make the game as convenient as possible. Make the game as playable as possible. Then you will have people playing the game. Also, permaban hackers, all of them. These hackers should not be able to come back into the game easily. Rotate when resting. No one asked to be locked into place when you're resting. Now it's never been in a conversation. Don't change it. We like to be able to see when we need to stop resting or when we finish resting, where to go. That makes the game fun. I don't want to be sitting still, not being able to move around, look around, see when I'm resting. That's never been a part of the conversation. Don't change it. Proc chat. Proc chat, it's good. I like the proc chat. Jaws theme song.
The shameless cat can't hear this.
The timing! Oh, the timing! The fucking...
So that could be fun.
I'm very angry at you. That you killed my buddy.
See,
And you're gonna die now. I'm very
the proc chat.
Never mind, I'm gonna die. Never mind.
Proc chat's fun. Good addition. A lot of fun to play around with. Loadout, like I said, iconic to Warzone. Don't change it. Make multiple guns meta. Just micro adjustments. You can see what guns are being used the most. Just make micro adjustments. Oh, just micro. Just micro your way into these metas. SBMM. Try. I understand it. Try for a month. No SBMM. Then add in every competitive game has a ranked mode. Our SBM, it should not be hidden and it shouldn't really change that much per game on a game to game basis. Take a running 2 to 3 day average. That's your SPMM. Running 2 to 3 numerical number average. Stop changing the lobbies. I like being able to stay in the same lobby as someone I want to beat. As someone I want to, be on the same team with. Be able to change teams. That's how you build community. That's how you make friends. It is nigh impossible to make random friends in the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. How are we gonna 1v1 people? I want to play multiple games with the same people, then be like, you're pretty good, let's 1v1. SPMM should not change every game. It should only change when we decide to leave the lobby, and if the bots don't like the current game they're in, they can leave. Let them make the choice of leaving. We need to also see our progress. It's an ego thing. SPMM, numerical rating, let that numerical number be displayed. In the scoreboard or to ourselves, we need to know where our SPMM is. But I think there should be pub matches and ranked. SPMM and ranked should be the same thing. You can have protected modes for 0.6 and lower. That's the protected mode. Once you get to 0.7, you're getting enough kills. You're getting enough kills to keep playing the game with a 0.7. 0.6 to a 0.8, like a transitional phase. Where, half the games you go into is protected still. Half the games are still protected. Half the games are, it's whatever. And then once you get above 0.8, you're in the wilderness. If you get a sweaty lobby, you get a sweaty lobby. You sink back down to 0.7. Alright, now you're in that transitional state. 0.8, you're out there again. Do not cater to bots, because the bots aren't watching your game on their free time. The esports, the sport, these games, League of Legends, Fortnite, they're competitive. Valorant, you don't have a sandbox mode like Minecraft. I think you should let the community be able to make maps in a creative sandbox mode, because Grand Theft Auto is another role-playing sandbox game. You got sandbox game, competitive, sandbox, competitive. The people who are gonna spend money to bots, who are gonna participate as an audience to your game, are not the bots. Don't cater to the bots. They will buy your game regardless of your game. And if they don't, you don't really want them as your audience anyways. They're cheap. They will buy every single Call of Duty out of brand name. There are better FPS games. I'm telling you right now, Gundam is more popular than Call of Duty right now. Gundam Evolution, team-based shooter 6v6, is a more popular FPS game that's free compared to your $70 Modern Warfare. That is way down the list. No one watches Call of Duty anymore. Even back in 2019, it was number 19. It's on a slump. Call of Duty multiplayer is on a slump. You created a game that's more popular, put your resources into making that game as playable and as watchable as possible. You need the movement. You need the high skill gap. That's just how it needs to be. Because no one wants to watch someone running across the map, an empty map, and getting 5 kills. That's just not fun to watch. When we watch streamers, we want these guys to get 20 kills. We want them to see the maneuvers, to get better at the game, see things we've never seen before. We could try out the casuals, the bots. They will play whatever. They will complain, but just make the game more playable, more fun to watch. And that's how you be successful. Most watched game is August 2022. We got Call of Duty Warzone, number 12. It's still doing better than 19. Black Ops 4. Let's look for another Call of Duty game. PUBG is 34. 2022. Why are we taking assets from a less watched game? Escape from Tarkov 19. Warzone is still watched more. And Call of Duty is not even the top 50 currently, right now. Before Modern Warfare 2 beta, it's not even a top 50 watched game on Twitch. I'm sorry to break it to you. Multiplayer, TDM, S&D, Modern Warfare is ranked 62 of most watched, August 2022. Look at the numbers. This is where you need to go to bring Call of Duty out. It needs to be able to be accessible to the public. It needs to be fun to watch to the public, and it needs to be fun to play. We can't have fun just running and jumping. There's so much more competition than to running and jumping. We're not in 2009. That's all I have to say. For Dead Silence, it shouldn't be an animation for Dead Silence. It should just be click, go. Doesn't really make sense either because it's your footstep. I don't really want to hear allies' footprints. Just barely audible, just so I know that they might be around. Auditory, I don't have to look at the minimap. In the beginning of Warzone, allies and enemies' footsteps were very distinct from each other. And it should be the case here too.